Hey guys, Forever Fragile here, coming at you with my second rant and rave topic. I don't know how many of you got through my last rant and rave, because I know it was like 24 minutes long, but for those of you that did, thank you, the word was worth it. So this topic kind of follows right along with that, in the sense that I want to talk about being single. So all my single friends, I know that you've got people in your life that are always asking you, why are you still single? How are you still single? Or maybe you're like me and you're single again, which those of you that know what I've been through this year, this is where I'm at. I'm just over here and I'm beginning to wonder if my expectations for love are just too high. It's possible that somewhere between the idealized dreams of my heart and the belief that in the end love will always be enough, I've deluded myself about what is realistic to expect from another person. I never really thought I was someone who held expectations at all, let alone that they were too high to ever be met by a mere mortal of a man. But lately, I'm wondering, is it too much to want my love to be magical? To be rocked off my axis when they kiss me, and to feel like they understand me more than any other person on earth? Perhaps the reality is that I expect those things, and that is why I'm single. Maybe I'm too busy hoping for a love that is fated by the divine, that I'm missing the kind of love that would move in, mow my lawn, and take care of my family. I never really thought that I would have to choose, that it would become an either-or situation, but it seems like it is. I'm wondering if I need to give up the idea that love is supernatural. The reality may be that love is in the everyday. The grocery shopping and cleaning, the doctor's appointments, making sure everybody's eating, sleeping, and pooping properly. Maybe it's not all about passion and those moments when the world drops away and you look into the eyes of the one that was created just for you. I might just have set myself up for failure believing in soulmates and twin flames. Possibly I should be looking on Match.com for a man that looks as if they could settle into a mediocre life with me, where we eat fish on Fridays and go to church on Sundays and have sex once a week after too many wine coolers. Instead of passion and ambition, maybe I should be looking into a man's finances to see if he could support me. It seems I should be more concerned that he has a retirement account, or at the very least a 401k. Clearly, the magical love doesn't always work out the way we want it to. I always felt like I went into everything openly. I was so flexible about what my life and love could look like. Wanna get married?
Great, I'll be the one in white.
Wanna elope and write our own vows?
Ooh, even better. But bringing in the kids is a must.
Want to be life partners and let our love speak for itself?
Okay, I'm always down for making up our own rules. Love never meant a destination to me, but perhaps that's also why it never seems to go anywhere. I know women who give ultimatums, who expect a 2.5 carat diamond at the end of a year or two, followed by a 4-bedroom colonial. And you know what? They actually get it. I've never really wanted any of those things, so maybe the real issue is I need to change what I want. I wonder now if it's not love, but a settling on the same desires that bring people together. I've always been more...
I'll give you a stone that means something to me.
than a...
I need a diamond on my finger to prove that you love me.
kind of woman. But maybe it's women like me who stay single because we seek simplicity. We look for love, all the while missing out on the average man that wants to do good by us. Screw that! The freaking truth is, I'm just not set up for that. Sorry, not sorry. Maybe my expectations are too high. Maybe I do believe in this crazy once-in-a-lifetime love that makes me believe that some people are fated by the design to be together. And if by believing in love I'm crazy, so be it. I can't sell out. I can't trade magic for somebody to fix my sink. I can't trade passion for the warmth of just having another body beside me. It feels at times that I'll be waiting forever. Maybe someday they'll make a meme out of me. I'll be old and gray and it'll say, she's still waiting for true love. But maybe not. The belief that my expectations are too high is like saying I should want something other than what really calls to me. And that I should tell myself to be happy with less. Maybe at one point I could, but now it's just not possible because I have come way too far to just suddenly start believing that anything about me is one size fits all. I admit it, my expectations are high. They are way out there. I want connection, passion, romance, laughter, poetry, and fireworks. I know what I bring to the table. I would drive that settled man from Match.com crazy, and he wouldn't begin to know what to do with a woman like me. I don't hope to settle down when what I want to do is rise up. I don't want to fall into love, but rather walk into it and somewhere along the way realize that magic does exist. But nobody finds it by playing it safe. We only find the magic if we're brave enough to believe in it. Usually, the why are you still single question could be the same lady that said you deserve better when you were with someone. You deserve the love you keep trying to give to everyone else. It hurts, the ache inside of you that longs to be given what you so effortlessly give to others. Seems that you love, you give, and you do constantly for others, yet you still feel like you never quite get back what you give. But that is not the point of love. We don't give to get, we give because of the sheer joy of it. Yet, you still wish, for once, it wouldn't be so hard or complicated. Though you don't say anything, I know you wonder if it'll ever be you. If someone will ever choose you who's always changing your mind. I know you want to be confident in knowing that the love you receive isn't about them, it's about you. You want someone to be there for you in all of the ways that you're there for others, and it's okay to feel that. Just because you give doesn't mean you don't have needs. Just because receiving isn't the point of love doesn't mean that we don't desire it. Life is a spindle that the hopeful are often pricked upon. It's a maddening game of what ifs, U-turns, changes, and gambling in the pursuit of something that you can't quite see. And in the end, all most of us want is someone to remind us why it's worth it. But let me save you some time and heartache. That person is yourself. See, there's a contradiction within non-attachment and authenticity. It's that we can need but still give space. We can hope and still hold joy. We can want and still be satisfied. The truth is that the longer you keep waiting for someone else to fill your empty spaces, the longer you will be chasing that love out of your life. No other person in the world, not your lover, your soulmate, your twin flame, can make you feel satisfied and fulfilled if you haven't first done that for yourself. So yes, you do deserve the love that you keep giving to everyone else. But are you giving it to yourself? We can give and give ourselves to others, but if we're not first filling ourselves up, then nobody else will be able to either. It's not our partner's job to love our broken pieces back together. It's not their job to fix us or quell our insecurities. It's their job to simply be our constant, but only if we've signed up to do the work as well. You do deserve the love you give away to so many, but you also deserve to love yourself in exactly the same way. You need to take care of yourself as you do those who you value the most. You need to put your heart first, your needs and desires. Remember, it's not selfish, it's self-love. There is a difference, and don't let those who haven't mastered this try to convince you otherwise. People will only know how to love you once you've learned how to love yourself, because whether you intend them to or not, all they can do is follow your example. You are not a martyr for love. It is not your job to sacrifice everything you are in hopes of getting what you need. Love is amazing, and so is finding our peace within this crazy world. But nothing can replace the feeling of knowing that the only place that your self-worth lies is within you. You deserve the amazing, the toe-tingling, the once-in-a-lifetime. But if you keep expecting that it'll make the ache go away, perhaps you've been being given these challenges for a reason. Maybe you're being asked to simply fall in love with yourself so that you learn once and for all that the person that deserves your love the most is you. There's beauty in learning that you are, in essence, everything that you've been searching for, because then it'll never be lost. This isn't to say that another won't compliment you or make you stronger, as this is the point of partnerships. But in order to be able to do that for another, you have to be strong on your own. You need to have let your roots grow firm and steady in the Lord in such a way that the strongest storm cannot shake who you really are. Maybe there will be a day when you suddenly realize this. It may happen after, once again, you feel that you've been wronged. However, the truth is that being wronged is only a matter of perception of what we allow and what we want to entertain as our truth. If we can truly accept that how people treat us says more about them than us, we will also realize that how we treat others has more to do with who we are than anyone else in our lives. There is no dignity in being a doormat. Nobody gets anywhere accepting anything rather than holding out for everything. Really, the only choice you have to make is, can you actually handle getting everything you say you want? Sometimes it seems like we simultaneously desire and fear our innermost wants. It's almost as if it's easier at times to not get them, so we continue to have something to complain about, a reason to struggle. Well, what if we gave up the struggle? What if we decided to simply give ourselves everything that we so readily give to others? To accept that there is no lack but the one that we perceive. We may just find in the end that all the love we had hoped to receive was ever only ours to give to ourselves. Maybe right now you're not supposed to be in a relationship with anybody but yourself. Maybe this is your time for you, and you're supposed to enjoy it for exactly what it is. Your time for you. Now, usually the question, why are you still single, is followed up with the question of, aren't you tired of being alone? I know it's easy to forget, but the reality is, you're just single, not alone. There is a big difference between the two, and I know it's hard to remember as the moon hangs low over your empty bed. But the truth is, it's not never that you're feeling, but just not right now. Who we are is not defined by who we are with. Sometimes we take on the personas of those we spend a lot of time with in an attempt to quell our loneliness, or to sink ourselves into someone deep enough to hide our insecurities. But being single does not mean we are alone. It is easy to get caught up in society's demand for us to be in a relationship. With all the advertisements for online dating and wedding season underway, it's easy to feel like you're lacking in some way if you're single. However, you may be more whole than most. There's a reason those that are intelligent, attractive, and well-balanced are often single. We aren't looking for anyone to fill us up. We already do that for ourselves. Don't let anyone ever make you feel less than perfect. Just because you'd rather count the stars by yourself then dress up to the nines to attract the meaningless attention of those whose interest is only skin deep. There is a difference in a woman, or a man for that matter, that are content in who they are and what they can bring to the table. It means that the only relationship they'll accept is the consciously evolved one, where both people not only own their crap, but they don't need to absorb one another in order to feel loved. You are single right now because you know what you want, not because you're not someone worth wanting. To know who we are from the depths of our demons to the brightness of our light is to have stumbled upon our worth, possibly by accident. It is an interesting irony to be told that we should be okay being on our own, and then everyone wants to know why we haven't met that special someone yet. The way I look at it is, I am already taken. Maybe I know him, maybe I don't. Perhaps we are already in love. Or maybe he doesn't even know my name. But in my head, I'm already who I am, but also becoming the woman who was specifically created for the one person that's meant for me. Skeptics can shake their heads at me and say, that's a foolish idea, but I've never been one to be practical about my tennis outfits, let alone my love, so I start now. I like the original, the creative, that one of a kind, and even if it leaves my hand blistered from the first time that I use it, nothing is better than breaking in that brand new tennis racket that was just destined to be your favorite. I am never alone, and neither are you. We are in this world together. We are in the business of hoping and having faith and love together. I don't plan on selling out anytime soon, and that means I don't expect you to either. You may not want to admit it, but the fact is, if all you wanted was to not be alone, you would already have a body next to you. Perhaps not love or even a best friend, but you'd have a body. It's sad when you're taken, but you still feel alone. I've been there too. But I've also lived life with someone else and still felt alone. I ached knowing that there wasn't a thread running from my heart to his, and I knew that at some point I would have to either do something about it or kill the part of me that wanted to leave. Being alone has nothing to do with whether we're in the presence of others or not. It highlights whether we're enough for ourselves. There was a time when I ran from myself, so how could I blame anyone else for eventually doing the same? But there's something pretty incredible about facing your worst suspicions. You realize that you've already been through what you fear the most. And so there's nothing to do but live. And so I am. And as I'm saying these words to you from my heart and Maxwell is singing about my pretty wings, I am alone. I am by myself in a world of God's creation and things that I've created and made of my own, and I've never been happier. I don't want someone here to fill the space next to me on the couch and fight for the remote control. I'm after that person that thinks they can change the world just as much as I do, that won't let me off the hook even when I'm begging to be. I have made friends with my woundedness and my fears of being alone, and I do not need a man to fix me. God and I have already done that part. All I need now is someone who will love me for all I am or will be, because I know it will happen someday, not when I want it to, but when it's meant to. Until then, I'm good. I'm not really alone. I'm just single. So next time that nosy person asks you, why are you still single? Aren't you tired of being alone? You can answer them. I expect a lot because I'm worth a lot. I'm single because I know what I want, and I'm not alone. I'm just single.